For this particular thesis, the paper is not quite as far along. It's been rather, I don't know, what's the word, still scattered, and the writer's really been struggling to find a way to make it more focused. There's some sections, there's an outline already created. There's an intro about history that deals with the origins of social welfare. There's some theory on the debates on functions of social welfare. Let's speed this up a little. As a reward. There's also the discussion about who's worthy versus who's unworthy. And then there's links to capitalism and those who are in the margins of labor, and also kind of population control. Then there's also, sounds like American values. There's a desire to add something about Marxism because it seems necessary, but it's not there yet. Themes and values of welfare, or theories and values of welfare, seem to be what's showing up. The Homelessness and Rapid Rehousing Act is one of the issues and policies that is one of the main focuses right now. It's a government program, but there were also some New Deal programs. The author is realizing that different economic eras seem to be connected to these policy movements around homelessness. And there also seems to be some kind of shifting values around American values of being self-sufficient. So we moved to another whiteboard here. It seems like there's a paradigm shift that's going on with each of these three eras. And so one of the things that seemed to be a possible way to organize this would be to look at different programs and different paradigms and values that were related to different times and crises. So we talked about first the 80s, there was the McKinney-Vento Act, and kind of who was homeless seems to be kind of an issue. There was women and children became kind of the new homeless, and that was a concern. So in the 80s, it was about sheltering people, where in the 90s, Housing First was the next kind of act. And then in the 00s, there was the people who were losing houses, and the goal to rehouse people or to prevent people losing their houses. So one of the questions for me was maybe there's a way to manage this scope by saying we're going to look at 3 different decades, and we're going to look at one particular act and show how the paradigm and the values have shifted, maybe around the type of housing goals, like sheltering people in the 80s, putting people in houses in the 90s, and then keeping people in their houses in the 00s, which are definitely kind of a different government acts and policy that go to look at homelessness in a different way. So for this author, the goal is going to be to just write out the narrative about these 3 things, around these 3 time periods, these 3 acts, and these 3 paradigm shift. And that in itself is going to be quite a task, but it probably will help focus and get something written. So there you have it. There's another draft for this week.